Please remain standing. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day you blessed us to see. We ask that you bless the faculty, the graduates, our family members, and friends. Thank you for all the love and support they have given to us this day and throughout our lives. We ask that you make this a memorable experience for all of us by moving in us and in this graduation ceremony today. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Amen. Patrick couldn't be here today, so I'm saying the scripture. Isaiah 50, verse 4 and 5. The Lord God hath given me the tongue of the learned, that I should know how to speak a word in season to him that is weary. He waketh morning by morning, he waketh mine ear to hear as to learn. The Lord God hath opened my ear, and I was not rebellious, neither turned away back.
Please refer to the programs.
Our pledges. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior's kingdom which stands, one Savior, crucified, risen, and coming again, to die for liberty for all who believe. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide his word in my heart, that I might not sin against God.
Please remain standing until after the school song. The national anthem. The words are in your program. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? With every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory victory is won. Our school song. We're only doing the first verse. There's a light in the lighthouse, shining bright through me. There's a light in the lighthouse, reaching out to you. We love our school, we'll do our best. We'll honor God, we'll have success. We'll reach our goals and win new souls through His shining light. There's a light in the lighthouse, shining bright through me. There's a light in the lighthouse, reaching out to you. There's a light in the lighthouse, shining bright through me. There's a light in the lighthouse, reaching out to you. You may have your seats.
Good morning to my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends. I am William Rump. In my speech, I am looking at two historical figures, Frederick Douglass and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And then I'll be talking about some of the people who have shaped and are shaping my history today. Frederick Douglass said, "I prayed for 20 years but received no answer until I prayed up my legs." Frederick Douglass was an American social reformer, abolitionist, orator, writer, and statesman. He escaped from slavery and became a national leader of the abolitionist movement. He was a living counterexample to slaveholders' arguments that slaves lacked the intellectual capacity to function as independent American citizens. I learned from him that God helps those that help themselves, and that having an education is important. Martin Luther King said, "By opening our lives to God in Christ, we become new creatures." This experience, which spoke Jesus as a new birth, is essential that we are to be transformed, non-conformists. Only through an inner spiritual transformation do we gain the strength to fight vigorously the evils of the world in a humble and loving spirit. Martin Luther King was determined to stand up for his morals, and he was willing to do whatever it took, even if it included death. He also earned his doctorate in theology. King stayed focused throughout the racial controversy and became a preacher and civil rights leader. I learned from him that an individual can achieve anything no matter circumstances, and having faith in God can go a long way. My parents, Jacqueline and Willie Rump, raised me to become a well-mannered and respectful young man. And they always remind me that no matter how successful I become in life, I will always need God. And I should never forget where I came from. Some of the history they have shared with me is my mother is the oldest of 7 siblings, and my father is the oldest of 4. All their lives, they had to sacrifice for others, especially for my sister and me. But they never gave up or complained, and that's what truly makes them amazing. Instead of attending college, they had to stay and take care of family. So that's why I'm on a mission to use my opportunities and have a better life. So when I receive my college degree, I can not only make them proud, but return the favor by taking care of them. Bishop Daniels, the principal of Lighthouse Preparatory Christian School, shared with me that he attended all black schools from elementary to high school. When he was released from the military at the age of 22, he decided to attend college because he wanted to help his mother and aunt. He did better in college than high school because he realized that education is more important. Education is important to be successful in life. This influenced me because I see an example of success when you want to give back to your family. Mrs. Daniels taught me that reading makes a full man and conference makes a ready man. Therefore, I must express myself so others can see my light shine. Mrs. McKinnon always helped me with many endeavors. She taught me my electives, art, typing, and speech. She is also instrumental in helping me to sign up for my college entrance exams and making sure that I applied on time. Mrs. Anderson, my English teacher, taught me language arts, which helped me to become a well-spoken young man, and that writing is key to my success. Mrs. Brown, my science teacher, helped me by assigning my experiments and giving me information, which expanded my knowledge and understanding of sciences. I had a fun-loving experience with science, especially biology. Mr. Jones, my math teacher, was a blessing to have as a teacher because he devoted his precious time to teaching me Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and geometry. Even when he moved to North Carolina, God touched his heart to continue to teach me through online video classes. All these people influenced me in an enormous way and made me who I am today. I am truly blessed, and I'm looking forward to attending North Carolina Central University, where I will play football and major in biology. With God's help, I look forward to developing into the man that God placed me on this earth to become.
Good morning. Good morning. To my principal, vice principal, the faculty, family, and friends, I am Rhonda Lynn Wiggins Hayes. How studying history has influenced my education. I really thought I would never have to revisit not having a high school diploma. One day life caught up with me and I could no longer say no. Finally, I had to say yes. Actually, being forced to go back to school because I could not advance in my career without having the proper education. I give all the glory to God. After 35 years of being out of school, I had to get back to school. I got a chance to see all of my children walk across the stage. Now my babies are adults, and they will get a chance to see their mother walk across the stage. To receive her high school diploma. I am so happy in so many ways. Life has a way of either making you or breaking you. And I thank God for my school, Lighthouse Christian School. The teachers, and the Bishop Daniels. They are people who will, excuse me y'all, they are people who will walk with you, will help you in any way that they can. So I say, never give up on God because He will never give up on you. My going back to school was the best move ever. I can finally breathe because taking these stepping stones show I did it with the help of the Lord. My children, my husband, and my family has been the biggest support system. When they heard I was going back to school to finish my education, I got nothing but love. So today, I'm walking across the stage with nothing but love and precious memories. Because my advancements and success in life completes a part of the chapter of our family, having a dream fulfilled of one more completing their education. Bishop Charles Daniels, the principal of Lighthouse Christian School, shared with me that attending an all-black school from elementary to high school, he started skipping in second grade and continued with his poor attendance until his senior year. One of his teachers told him if he missed one more day, he would not graduate. He had a perfect attendance. After that, because he did not want to disappoint his mother, his words influenced and encouraged me to know that once I start, I could not drop out or skip class, and I have to complete what I started. So with all this being said, I want to thank all of my family that's in this room today to be with me in this part of my life, to watch me get my diploma. And that's not all. My plans is to continue my education and train to become a medical assistant. All right.
Good morning. Yes, I'm nervous. Good morning to my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends. I am Sierra Jestara McDonald. How studying history influenced my education. There's a couple of women that have influenced me and that I am inspired by. First, of course, it will be my mother, Deandra Kinsey. While growing up, I watched my mother accomplish everything her heart desired. She took working hard and education to a different level. She let nothing stop her. When the odds were truly against her, she remained a strong black fighting queen, hungry to feed her babies. And yes, she fought to be a director of nursing. After a job of many years overlooked her, she refused to take no for an answer. She kept fighting until she conquered and accomplished that passion of being a director of nursing. I learned while following her, no matter what comes up, always continue your journey. Someone will give you a fast no instead of a quick yes. She encouraged me to never change my mind about my heart's desire and continue going until my heart is fulfilled. I am very much so encouraged by two doctors. I've known them for a couple of years. I've known one longer than the other. One named Dr. Miller and the other Miss Nisha. Dr. Nisha, sorry. When I see them, I think to myself, I look forward to asking one of them, could I do my externship with them? They both are wound care doctors, and I'm very much so inspired, and they're much more to me. I'd like to speak about my dear friend, whose name is Lillian, who has a persistent spirit. When it comes to getting a person to accomplish their goals, the words, "No, I can't," does not exist when she is helping you. She's always right there saying, yes, you can, and yes, you will. With these people, I have been able to look up and realize that the sky has no limit. I'm inspired to be a strong, willing, and able and successful woman. I am continuing furthering my education. I just want to say thank you to you all, and it's been a good journey.
And what I want you to experience from this song as he's getting it ready, this is Jamie Allah. He couldn't be here today because he's in New York. He was one of my graduates in the class of 2015, and he graduated this spring from the Ringling College of Art and Design, and he's already acquired a position in New York. But he also was one of my singers and all, and I want you to hear it because I wanted to prophesy to my graduates. I believe, because the people who believed in them is how they got here. And
my mind to a brighter day filled with possibility, where I can dream my dreams and pray my prayers and move on to that great somewhere where I'm free. I believe there's a better way for me, where the grass is green and the beauty flows from me, where my light can shine and I'll be all I can be, where I can sing my song and clearly see the that hope that lies in me, where I'm free. I believe I'm the possibility, and I believe that the future's stored in me, and I can help bring sunshine to the world, where I can in my dreams and pray my prayers and move on to that great somewhere where I can sing my song and clearly see that hope that lies in me, where I can speak my words and feel the glow, inspiring all who want more to be free, to be free. I am free.
Good morning. Good morning. To my principal, vice principal, faculty, family and friends, I am Crystal Robinson. How studying history has influenced my education. History was not one of my favorite subjects in school. Since I have gotten older, I have learned a lot about history. We as Americans and African Americans have been through a lot in the past. I have read the book, A Letter to My Daughter by Maya Angelou. This book was sad and funny, also inspiring to me. Maya Angelou gave me hope that God does love me. She also talks about when she got pregnant that she was scared to tell her parents, and that was her mother. Her mother was her biggest supporter. My mother also was my biggest supporter. Maya Angelou and I have a lot in common. We have both traveled the world and have seen a lot. We have met a lot of people throughout our travels. We also have met people that thought they knew us. Her story has helped me realize that I am not the only one in this world who has gone through challenges and experiences in life. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. graduated from Booker T. Washington High School and attended Morehouse College at the age of 15. Afterwards, he attended Crozer Technical Seminary at the age of 19. Dr. King realized he needed to make a change in the black community. I never knew what Dr. King did for our nation until I really sat down and took my time to read about him. We read about him in school, but at the time I was not really into books or into history. I traveled to Atlanta to visit Dr. King's home where he grew up. I took several pictures of his home, and I also visited a church where he and his father preached, Ebenezer Baptist Church. What really moved me was what really moved me was the march on Washington. It was attended by 250,000 people. Dr. King made his famous speech, "I Have a Dream." He was assassinated on the balcony of the Lauren Motel on April 14, 1968. Dr. King fought to give his life so that African Americans may have freedom from civil rights, voting rights, equal rights, and therefore enduring segregation. I plan to attend college to earn my bachelor's degree and work in my profession as a nurse. I'd like to thank my kids for being here, supporting me, my family, my classmates, and my teachers.
Good morning. To my principal, vice principal, and facility. Faculty, family, and friends. My name is Jakira Williams. How studying history has influenced my education. The courage of Ruby. The courage of Ruby Bridges has inspired me to have courage to return to school. Even though she was 6 years old, she was fearless and didn't back down from obstacles against her. Born September 8, 1954, Ruby Bridges was the first African-American child to integrate a white Southern elementary school. On November 14, 1960, Ruby Bridges was escorted to class by her mother and 4 U.S. Marshals due to violent mobs outside. Each time Ruby walked into the school, she showed no trepidation or fear. After spending 1 year in class with just her teacher and peers, she showed that she was committed to learning. Lucille's Ruby's mother saw the advantages for her daughter. Not only did she and her daughter play a big role in changing history, but she made it possible for other kids to face the trials and tribulations in going to a white Southern school. I took heed to Ruby's encouragement, commitment, and persistence for myself. It inspired me in my endeavors to return to school regardless of the obstacles and hard work I may face. Just like Ruby inspired me, I want to be someone for my children to look up to when they start school. Times are changing and education is needed to get to where you want to go in life. In the words of Ruby Bridges, don't follow the path, go where there is no path and begin the trail. When you start a new trail equipped with courage, strength, and conviction, the only thing that can stop you is you. After graduating, I plan to attend State College of Florida to become a dental assistant and a degree in radiology.
Good morning to my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends. I am Rashina Mitchell. How studying history has influenced my education. In my speech, I will reflect on people who made a difference in my life. I would like to begin with my mother, who has always been an awesome woman. During my childhood and now my adult years, she would lift my spirit when I felt discouraged, and she would encourage me not to give up. I watched as my mother worked hard to provide for me and my sister. I watched her growth and determination as she attended college to further her career. She never complained or gave up on anything. I blossomed into the woman I am and learned to never let anything distract me from my goals because of her strength. Only the strong survive. I am strong and surviving because of my mother. My group of friends, who are all present here today, they inspired me to push through and complete school. Without my informing them, they all played a major part. We have many things in common. We are all hard workers, striving to become better people in life. I did this for myself and my children. I wanted to be a role model for my children. I realized that the only person responsible for holding you back from achieving is yourself. As long as you believe in yourself and keep pushing, anything is possible. My last example is my big sister, who was more of a challenge for our mother during our childhood. She was always a best friend and an inspiration for me. She tried to keep me focused on school and told me how important an education is. She had a 4.0 GPA in school and earned a scholarship through Black Achievers Program. But due to her behavior, she lost that scholarship. But she never lost her focus on me. When I told her I was in school, and she told me how proud she was of me. She told me she knew I could do it. She always tells me to think about my future and how I would set an example of not giving up. I thank my sister for being a challenge and for being the genuine big sister who kept me on my toes and motivated me. I am becoming everything I ever dreamed. The only way is up from here. I will be attending Manatee Technical College and entering the nursing program.
Thank you for your patience, and because of your eagerness and our graduates' eagerness to get on with their speeches, we're going to move right to the next group. Takara, Annie, and Tania.
Good morning to my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends. I am Takara White. I am Takara White. I will be telling you how studying history has influenced my education. I'm going to tell you what inspired me to go back to school. I'm not going to take up much of your time, so I'll only give you a few. My first and foremost inspiration is my Heavenly Father, God. All glory to Him. Because of Him, I'm here today as a graduate. Second would be my husband and my children. My husband being a huge inspiration, because no matter the obstacles he faced them head on. And I know it hasn't been easy with my whining and my crying. But he stayed on me and told me I could do it, and him and the kids were rooting for me. Thirdly, but most certainly not least, is my two sons that could not be here today.
You got it.
Take your time, honey. Take your time.
You got it. You got it, baby.
They have been inspirations to me. They're always looking at the brighter side of things. And to hear them say how proud of me they are means the world to me. But mostly, I want to give a special thanks to my beautiful mother for encouraging me, loving me. And even when I'm being doubtful, telling me it will be okay. So many have inspired me, my church family, my school, and my job. I say thank you. I plan to continue. I plan to go even further. My plans are to go to college, major in nursing and business. One day I plan to own my own business and be an inspiration to many, if not thousands. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
You got it, cuz. You got it, baby.
All right.
Calm down. Take it easy.
It's okay. It's okay.
You got it, baby. You deserve it. All of y'all.
All right.
It ain't nothing but joyful tale.
Good morning to my principal, my vice principal, faculty, family, and friends. I am Annie Hunt. How studying history has influenced my education. In my speech, I will speak about 3 people who inspired my education. First person I'm going to speak about
It's gonna be all right.
Take your time, man. Come on, baby.
You got it, cousin.
It's my grandmother, Annie B. Miller.
Amen.
She inspired my education first by taking the time out of her busy day, helping me learn how to write my name. My grandma spoiled me. She taught me how to wash clothes, clean, and I watched her, my sister, and my cousins cook. My grandma is a phenomenal woman. She spoke her mind about any and everything, but she was such a sweet lady. At the age of 74, she was still working as a CNA. Her spirit of eagerness had an effect on everyone that was around her. She had hip surgery and made a speedy recovery just to get back to work. She loved helping others. As she always says, that's where her blessings come from. My second person is my mom, Aunt Nikki DeVoe. Oh Lord, where do I start at? My mama always told me how important my education is, and it's a must I get my high school diploma. I remember my mama asking me what I wanted to be when I grow up. I told her I wanted to be a prosecutor, to put all the bad people away. I can actually say my mama was my role model, and still is to this day. She told me by the time I turned 14, she would have a house. My mama always asked me, what are my goals, plans, and once I set them, I need to accomplish them for my kids' sake. One thing about it, and 2 things for sure, my mama will stay on you like flies at a barbecue. I love that about her though, and she's the sweetest woman you'll ever know. Now that's what you call beauty and brains. My last but not least, I want to talk about my daddy. My daddy inspired my education because I saw his struggles, and no matter what came his way, he didn't fold nor did it break him. My daddy has
It's all right, baby.
It's all right, cuz.
Daddy right
My daddy has been in some really bad situations, but he never let them get to the best of him. He always told me to get my education and to become whatever I wanted to be. My daddy is the person that people would love to be around because he liked to see people happy. When my daddy heard I dropped out of high school, he told me he doesn't care how or when, but I needed to get my high school diploma. These very words he told me always stayed with me. It always seems impossible until it's done. I am here to say, struggles make you stronger and the changes make you wise. We may have been delayed, but never denied. So with that being said, better late than never. I plan to study to become a dental assistant and also continue my study in nursing.
That's my name. That's
To my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends, I am Tanil Johnson. How studying history has influenced my education. My mother, Letitia Johnson, has been my inspiration to me. The life she gave me is what makes me who I am today. Throughout all our struggles since I was a child, she has led me to the right direction. She also encouraged me to complete my high school diploma. She wanted me to be a better person and do more than she had done in life. I am the first of 2 siblings to complete high school and receive my diploma. I attended cosmetology school and finished all of my course. One of my instructors constantly encouraged me to continue going to school and not to stop for any reason until I finish. The influence and inspiration from our instructor instilled in me that I could accomplish any career that I put my mind to. One of my friends and 3 of her friends told me about the Lighthouse Christian School and encouraged me to come. I felt that I could complete my goals quicker by working on my diploma in a private atmosphere. I called Ms. Daniels and she told me what I needed to do. Now I am graduating and receiving my high school diploma. I plan to continue my career in phlebotomy and to travel throughout the state of Florida working for different agencies.
Now this is another song that was chosen again. I believe in the atmosphere. The prophecies that spoke on my students and any students to come, because I believe God lays out a path for them. Now this person I don't know personally, but her name is Sinash. My husband and I and some of my other minister friends, we've traveled to Nigeria a lot. And Nigeria, Africa is our homeland. I don't know Sinash personally, but I know she sings the gospel, I know she travels. And this particular song, as it says, I know who I am. And I know this is a place in all of the lives of we graduates, everyone. You gotta know who you are. You gotta know where you're going. So I want you to enjoy. I usually have people doing my, entertainment, but it's all right. Day by day this time.
Chosen generation, we've been called to show His excellence. All I require show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I walk in miracles. I live a life of favor. For I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I walk in miracles. I live a life of favor. For I know who I am. Everybody shout.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. To my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends. I'm LaWanda Evans, and I'm here to tell you how history influenced me. History influenced my education. I wanted to go back to school because my Aunt Nikki stayed on my back to go back to school. I was going to get my GED, but I never found the time to go. until Takara told me and my sister about Lighthouse Preparatory Christian School. It was like heaven sent because I didn't have time to sit in a classroom. I worked 4 times, 7 days a week. My sister Annie and Takara told me to find time. I was first influenced by my aunt Nicole DeVerme. For 6 years or more, she continued to speak to me about getting on the path to go back to school. She said, continue your education. There's funding out there for you. You need to take advantage of this opportunity. She never gave up. My sister Annie is my second influence. She's my biggest supporter of all. She called me, texted me, and fussed me out, making sure I was doing my work. She was never letting up. She always reminded me that I had a deadline to get my diploma. She sat down with me one-on-one to make sure I understood everything. Sometimes I didn't go to sleep until 1 o'clock in the morning, being that I get off of work at 10 at night. Thirdly, my family, my husband, and my 5 kids. We would sit at the table and do our homework together. Things I didn't understand, they even helped me. They encouraged me, motivated me, and inspired me, loved me, and most importantly, they supported me. My plan is to attend Manatee Technical College in the fall to become a dental assistant and then an anesthesiologist.
You know who you are. That's her mother. All right.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. To my principal, vice principal, faculty, family, and friends, I am Alexis Kennedy. How studying history has influenced my education. In my speech, I'm going to speak about 3 people who influenced me to continue my education. First, my mom, Tracy Jackson. She has influenced me to go back to school because I saw her struggle as a single parent trying to take care of me, my brothers and sisters. She, while being a single parent, took on a career in law enforcement, making her the successful lady she is today. The second person I'm speaking about is my grandmother, Luella Dodson. She has been an inspiration to me and many others. Despite her illness, she continued working and doing what she loved to do, such as cooking and encouraging people, all the while dealing with cancer. She continued working and never let her illness bring her down. She was a strong woman. She always encouraged me to finish school and be the best at whatever I do and to continue my education. The last 2 little people I will be speaking about are my daughters, Zahara and Azaria. These 2 little girls have shown me how to never give up despite the situation. I really wanted to show my oldest daughter you can still succeed no matter the challenge. Now that I have received my high school diploma from Lighthouse Preparatory Christian School, I plan to attend Manatee Technical College in the fall for dental assistant.
Good morning, good morning. morning to my principal, my vice principal, my faculty, my family, and my friends. I am Kevon Mabry. I'm going to tell you how studying history has influenced my education. In my speech, I'm going to talk about 3 individuals who influenced my life. Their stories and their leadership helped mold the man I'm becoming. The first inspiration is none other than my grandfather. My grandfather, whose name is Willie Richardson, was a strong and courageous old folk. He would gather a handful of us so we would fetch some lemons off the tree from a neighbor. He would always look at us and tell us, "Don't tell your grandmother." And we knew, and we sit and we would not laugh nor smile because we knew that meant trouble. But a long story short story, he would always tell me, a man is not a man if he can't stand on his own 2 feet. So I stand here in my faith and on my 2 feet, knowing that I know you would tell me how proud you are of me. My second inspiration is Dr. Martin Luther King. His courageous leadership and devoted heart led me to never give up. When they even tried to lock him up or tear him down, Dr. Martin Luther King fought even harder for what he believed. His leadership led many African American people, my people, to a better place where we all are equal. My third inspiration comes from no other than my queen, my mother. She's no ordinary mother. She's one of those moms that didn't play the radio. Don't get me wrong. She would always have our backs and support us whether it's right or wrong. But don't get the timing wrong. At times we would question where did she come from. But today I don't even care where she came from. I'm glad I got her and wouldn't trade her for nothing in the world. The conversations, the punishments, and the tortures magnify her love and strength that keeps me pushing to be a better man. Overall, life throws curves and obstacles at you, but God gives you hope to maintain and keep fighting. He also puts people in your path to help you fight a good fight. So I say to you, keep hope alive and your faith will remain strong in your fight. I plan to attend EMT Academy and become an emergency technician.
First graduate from Lighthouse.
Good morning. Bishop Daniels, born in Belle Glade, Florida, to Mac and Essie Daniels. He is a graduate of Lincoln Memorial High School and subsequent University of South Florida. He was inducted into the United States Army in 1971. He received Christ into his life in the same year. Since his conversion, his life has never been the same. He has headed mission outreaches nationally and internationally, taught many students at seminary, and has trained and ordained countless people to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ. In his passion and obedience to Christ, the Lighthouse Ministries and Outreaches was founded in 2009, and the United International Ministerial Alliance, of which he is the bishop. Also, the Lighthouse Preparatory Christian School, which has graduated over 50 students. He is married to his high school sweetheart. He's married to his high school sweetheart, and they have 3 sons and 1 granddaughter. Someone I've known all my life, a man of faith, a teacher, a father. Please help me welcome Bishop Daniels.
Amen. We want to thank God for our students, their parents, their friends, and their supporters for coming out to share this wonderful event. Growing up, my mom and dad had 9 boys and 2 girls. And I said, wow. And the work that they both did was farm work. My mom could read and write, but my dad could not. But he was a master diesel and gas mechanic. In 1953, while working on the job, my dad took a lick to the head. And back then they didn't know what to do, so they took him to the house and got some rags and stuff to try to keep his head from bleeding out. And my father was a drinking man, but it was not violent while he drank. And he and his friends used to meet up at the farm headquarters and talk, and he'd always come back. But somewhere taking that lick in his head, he began to wander off. So to the point in 1955, he never came back home. And over the years, as we grew, my mom would always say, I think you ought to go and look for your dad, so you can at least find out where he's at and how he's doing. Because what happened between me and your daddy didn't have nothing to do with me and you. That was our business. And she would not allow us or anyone else to degrade his name, because she said she loved him. And that was her husband. So we moved from Bear Glade, me and my 4 brothers, to Bradenton, where my grandfather and my grandmother was living, Albert, Barbara, and Flossie, Barbara. We grew up here, never had a chance to go back to Bear Glade to live, but from time to time, when there were reunions and things of that nature, we would always go down and share in the family events. I started school in 1955. Lord willing, I'll be 69 next month. My mama passed in February of this month, of this year. She had her rules about how she wanted things done, because she said she never planned to visit the jailhouse or the graveyard, with 9 boys and 2 girls. God bless her, she never did. I started school. God, I had a good time. Somewhere there in the 2nd grade, something told me to stop going. And every morning when we get up to go to school, my older brother would prepare our breakfast and fix our lunches, and they'd go to school and they'd walk us to school. But when they take me to school, I'd come back and hide out in some bushes. Just looking up at nothing. And at the same time, they were tearing an old school down, and they had a horse that on jacks. And what I do, I would crawl up under that school. You could get you into some trouble, not knowing that those jacks could have fallen at any moment. And I would have been buried forever up under school. My mom never not knowing where I was. But sometime today I've heard young people talk about snitches. There was a lady who lived on the corner, and I did not know she was watching me. And so one day, we did farm, my mom did farm work, and so one day when my mom came home, Miss Berta said, "Listen, one of your babies ain't going to school." She said, "One of my babies?" Mama said, "Oh, my children go to school." She said, "One of them ain't going." And the next time I see him, I'm going to tell you, you have to have talents. Talents. Sure enough, I skipped. She saw me. I have an older brother. He was just like a parent in the house. I'm going to thank God for him, because had he not come for us all those days, we did some of those things we did. He could discipline like a parent, and nothing was said. she said, Sam, go down there and get Charles out in them bushes for me. So I'm just laying out there, just getting up this stuff. And I heard a voice. Say, Charles, Mama sent me to get you. I started screaming because I knew what that gonna look like. I had seen her work on them. Sure enough, Mama had just won $500 at the picture show. They had a little barrel where they put tickets in there. And she won one of the tickets. And she said the first thing she would ever do if she got somebody was buying a washing machine, because she was tired of rubbing and scrubbing. So sure enough, she bought a washing machine, and it was on a back porch. And some of you may be old enough to know about this. We didn't have all these fancy sockets in the wall and all that kind of stuff. You could have a very, very skinny extension cord. They were skinny with this right here. And if you want to light the top of the house, you had to screw it in there. So the closer I got to the house, the louder I got. And when I got to that back porch, I almost lost my strength. She went to work too, boy. She worked and she worked and she worked. She took that same extension cord and gave it to my brother and said, beat him. He looked at me. He said, I can't hit it. She said, I say beat it. And Sam, for the first time in his life, disobeyed something my mama said. But you know, that wasn't my mama's fault. All I had to do was what? Go to school. That's all I had to do. Did well in school. Could read and write. Count by fives when I was in kindergarten. Now I'm in a habit. I ain't in the habit about being beat because I deserve that. I'm in a habit because I don't know how to follow through and notice things that are complicating my life. Because not going to second grade, I had to repeat that grade. So by the time we had lived out in the Washington quarters, who had ever lived in the Washington quarters? Okay, anyhow. We moved a lot. Bathrooms always on the back side of the house. During the summer, you would almost burn up. During the winter, you'd almost freeze. You had outhouses, all kind of things like that, and then you were limited to where you could go. We had a black youth center where all the black people in the neighborhood, Paramount and Braden both had youth centers, would attend. But who believe God is working to make things better? And because my mom read, she would read to us from time to time. I learned how to read. In 1966, they integrated the schools in Manatee County. Like I told Will, from kindergarten to 12th grade, I had gone to only all black schools in the neighborhood. Finished school, went to the military. I was in the military for 18 months. I came out as a specialist 4. When I left Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Fort Leonard, Missouri, I was the highest ranking African American in the little base area where we were. Got out of the Army, used GI Bill, went to school, graduated, and my son mentioned I married my high school sweetheart. I think it's 40 years or 41 years this year. She and her friends write me, tell me about they would get saved, so and so, so and so. And when I came home, I need to come down to the meeting so I can get saved too. I wasn't a bit no studying on getting saved. But I heard somebody say God works in what? Mysterious ways. And when we met, you all heard me talk, some of the fears and things that you had. We weren't afraid of the fears, because we knew how to beat them down through proper study and training. You can accomplish any goal in life you want to accomplish. So after I got saved, which was the most wonderful thing ever happened to me in life other than get married, I started reading books. And when I went to Manatee Community College, and from there I went to the University of South Florida, I used to go up into the library and just get bundles of books and just bring them out and just lay them down in the little room where you can go and just read books at the University of South Florida. And all I did was just read, basically about African Americans and African Americans students. And we used to hear people talk about how bad the situations were. How many of you know there's people with worse situations than what you do? I mean, some real bad situations. I read a book about the transatlantic slave trade. How when they transported slaves from Africa, let's say the slave ship only would hold 300 people, but they're packed with 600. Now, note this, there are no bathrooms, no windows, or nothing to look at. You're just on a ship traveling. So all your bodily functions had to be done where? Right there, down there, in the hull of that ship. But I want to tell you something. It's hard to kill a man, a woman, or a group of people who really want to live despite their condition. When he or she want to live, you can put them in the hull of a ship, whip them and beat them, and get that same salt water from that ocean and wash them down with it. And what would the salt water do to the skin? Burn it. Boy, when you're a good man, when you're a what? Good woman, you'll take that burn. Because you know living in the hull of a ship is not your goal and your expectations. You can be what? Better than that. Slaves got to America. They made rules and laws for them not to read and write. Then when they would come around and they couldn't read and write, they asked them what? What if you making the law that I can't what? Read and write? I probably can't what? Read and write. But there's something about the will of people that's greater than their sufferings. All right. We call that God.
Amen.
Today, when we was growing up, we had food stamp, welfare, all them other kind of things like that. But imagine when you came to Africa, all you had was you. No, nothing. Nothing to help you get along until your situation changes. Because something on the inside of the man and the woman, despite what's going on around them, challenged them to be better. So they taught themselves how to read and write. They built their own schools. They built their own institutions. Not in defiance of anybody, but they had their own schools in the countries that they came from. They just had never heard English before. And what they did, which was phenomenal, they taught themselves how to hear the English language. And from there, they taught themselves how to what? to read and to write. People didn't believe that they had started those institutions, but they really had. And so what they did, they taught their children how not to be dependent upon a system. How many of you have ever been to Atlanta and you've seen Dr. King's house? That's why I say, when you're great and when you're good, it takes a lot to break the will of a man or a woman or a group of people when they want it real bad. Something always keep getting in my way. Things getting in your way is your blessing. Say, why, Bishop? You got to learn how to deal with it. How to get around it. And what if it keeps showing up? Your mind has to keep what? Thinking how I'm going to what? Avoid it or what? Get around it or become a what? Victim to it. And what they refused not to become was a victim to their environment. That's why when we go to Africa, next time I go, they're going to make me a chief. Imagine, you see other kids going to school. You want to go to school what? Too. There's a school for you, but all the books are tapped. I wish some of y'all was my age so y'all can help me out. All the books we ever read had other people's names on them. I don't care what grade you were in. You never had a book that you wrote your name in. Because somebody else's name from all the other schools were already what? Ingrained in those books. But you know what God did? He blessed us. He blessed us. And we found out how God was what? Blessing us and learned how to get what? Around all those things that are going on. We used to be on welfare. I ain't saying. That's all we had when we came to break. That's all we had. But somewhere in there, God began to change the what? Condition. People started looking for what? More and made themselves better. This has been a wonderful year. Working with and learning the continuous process of education with our graduates. We want to thank God for each and every one of you. If there are no challenges, say it. That are beating you down, more than likely you are not growing. Obstacles have to come. One writer said, for where there's no struggle, there's no progress. If you just lay up in the bed and sleep and need to go to the bathroom, ain't no skill in that. But if there's a challenge, there was a man named William Will Brown, a black writer. One day he had some of his northern white friends out playing, and he said to one of the boys, I can write my name. And the white fellow said, you can't write your name. Negroes don't know how to write. He said, yes, I can. He said, clear me some land out down there. And so they cleared some land out down there, and he said, give me a little stick. And so he got down with his stick, and he started writing his name. And so once he had completed, he told one of his little friends, see, I've written my name. William Wells Brown. And the boy went down there. He said, William, that's not your name. He said, yes, it is. William Wells Brown. The boy said, give me a stick. He said, this is what your name look like. William Wells Brown. He tricked him and showing him how to what? Write his name. You know what he did? So I had to learn how to read and write their name. Hardships will make you get up. Hardships will make you what? Grow up. I have a cousin. When she finished high school, she was pregnant. But she wanted to go to school. And she just cried and screamed and hollered. She came to my uncle and my auntie, and they said, now look, if you really want to go to school, we're going to take you up to the FAMU. We're going to enroll you in school. We're going to take this baby. You're going to finish. And when you get your degree, you come back here and pick up your baby. Because you ain't the first girl ever had a baby out of wedlock. And you won't be what? The last one. Each student has made their own mark through their academic study. We taught them the theories. When William, Rhonda, Sierra, Kristen, Jakira, Ronshina, Takara, Annie, Tania, Lawanda, Kevon, and Alexis came to the Lighthouse Preparatory Christian School. We knew God was going to bless them.
They will take a wealth of workable knowledge with them to the colleges, universities, or technical colleges or career schools that they have chosen to continue their process of education.
Final thing. All education does not take place in the classroom. It takes place on jungle trails, igloos, teepees, airplane, cars. Anywhere you go in life is a learning experience. You can always bring something back home to make your life and the lives of the people around you better. God bless you.
All right, this is it. All right. Back to statement. This certifies that William Joseph Ruff has completed a course of study prescribed for graduation from this school in the state of Florida and is therefore awarded. The microphone is not on, we are recording and it's on. Okay. From this school and the state of Florida and is therefore awarded the diploma with all the privileges pertaining thereto given this 8th day of June 2019. William.
Yo, Will!
Rhonda Lynn Wiggins Hay. Sierra Justara McDonald. Crystal Angel Robinson. Get a picture, Crystal. You're missing your picture. Jakira Jorrell Williams. Tennille Shanae Johnson. I'm missing your picture. LaWanda LaRue. Alexis Renee Johnson. Keelan James Mabry. Presentation was true faith.
Don't let nobody tell you. Don't let anyone tell you that these performances are not real. I want them to show you how real they are. These are my sons. With this same program. Florida A&M University, law student. I'm in law. That's my baby right there. Bethune-Cookman. Buddy, wave a hand. Come, raise your hand back there. Joel. Christian school. Anybody else in the house went to a Christian school? Amen.
You brought it up 20 what? 14? 20 what? I think it's 20. Thank you, Lord. Eric, you Shane? All right, now, undergraduate, 2017. Woo-woo!
Good morning. Good morning. Gifts come in all types of packages. Some of you will be presenting our graduates with gifts today, flowers and other special things, which we'll be able to do that on our other side. We have our repast. But these gifts, each and every one of you graduates, would you please stand? Christian School graduate, year 2019. We present them to you, and we thank you so much for letting us be a part of the journey that they are on. Congratulations. You did it, cuz. Thank you. You may have a seat.
Come back here, Takara. She did. Listen, take that tassel from the right and flip it to the left. Let's have the benediction. Oh, at the reception, we have to march out first, okay? Then when we do, join us on the other side because we have a delightful reception for you. Father, we thank you for this wonderful occasion in this ceremony. Thank you so much for these wonderful graduates and the staff that worked tirelessly and the family and friends that came to support.
Thank you.
We ask now in the name of Jesus that you would guide us and direct our path, order our steps, and keep us safe. Let our lives be precious in your sight, and let us remember to go on and do the best we can do and be the best we can be. In Jesus' name. And bless the food. Amen.